Oh, hey.
Welcome to Chronicles of the Phoenix.
Are you so excited?
I'm so excited. We have a really fun podcast today.
Yeah. And spring is sprung.
Spring has sprung.
Ish. It's a little cold still for me.
It is so cold. Definitely cold, but we do know it's spring.
That's true, we do.
And our Aries season is alive and well.
That's right.
It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Our episode today is called The Enneagram Goes on Spring Break.
Woo!
How each type travels and why it's complicated.
Yes, it is.
We're both really excited to think about traveling because you just took a little fam trip.
A little weekend away.
Mhm.
Yep, to celebrate my 16-year-old.
Oh, I can't believe she's 16.
I can't either. How did my little teeny tiny preemie baby turn 16?
Is it weird for you as like your kids get, I mean, I know this already with how I am with my kid, but don't you feel like we're getting to a space where it's like way more like times we remember? We were like, we're not that far from 16.
Yeah, totally.
We might be a little far, but in my head, I'm not.
No, I feel like I was just like being a nut job in my car.
Right.
Where
It was like you had your independence, but it's like that's when you formed yourself in a way, which makes
Yeah.
sense. I know that developmentally, but is it weird thinking like my kid is like the age I remember a lot of, or I don't know.
Totally is, and I feel like I'm not old enough to have a 16-year-old.
I mean, you're definitely not.
Thank you.
You're not.
Thank you.
You are so young. We can't have any teenagers, but we do.
But we do.
And I was just thinking of that because then when we talked at the last pod about like memories and like thinking back on things, and you were like, I don't do a lot of that. Like, I don't have all these, but I think we have talked a lot. You've talked a lot about your adolescence. Like,
Yeah,
remember
I do
that.
think that a lot about my adolescence a lot, yeah.
Yeah, so it's got to be kind of interesting to have a kid like right there.
Well, and I talk about how I'm very strategic about what rules I like to follow,
Yeah.
and I only follow rules that I think make sense.
For sure.
And I wasn't the smartest when I first got my driver's license.
You weren't.
I really, first of all, the roads in Wisconsin, very wide.
Yeah. You didn't have to worry about like hitting another car.
No, you really didn't. So you could do a lot of like really cool, I'm going to say, things with your vehicle and really make it like a toy,
Yeah.
like a grown-up toy or a teenage-sized toy that you could use.
I love that. Like a big Power Wheels.
Like a big Power Wheels.
Probably.
And it was the 90s.
Yeah.
So there wasn't really cell phones and tracking, and your parents sort of were like, peace out, kids. And they never knew where you were or what you were doing. So we're not going to talk about what that looked like,
You don't have to.
but it was cold sober, and we did some real crazy shit. And
Yeah.
my 1981 Chevy Citation that had bald tires.
Yes.
So
Amazing.
needless to say, there's going to be a lot of very strict rules for my daughter.
I mean, and the laws are a lot stricter too now. You can't even drive like other children in your car and like out at night at certain times. Like there's
Which I completely agree with all of those laws, and she will be following all of them.
I agree too. And I think it makes so much sense to not have a distracted driver in that way. However, I would have died if that's what I had to
I
do.
would not have loved it.
I was in the car with my friends immediately.
Yep.
And it was like one of the most fun times.
As soon as I got my driver's license that day, I got my parents' keys to their giant Gladiator conversion van and took it out with my brother, Sean. I had just moved to Wisconsin because I was a holdout and did not move with my family. And
Why is that not
drove
true?
drove down 8th Street in Wisconsin Rapids to check it out. Cruising along.
What a memory.
What a memory. Yeah.
Incredible. And then
Giant conversion van.
your daughter's going to make all those memories now.
That's right. She is.
Very cool.
By herself with nobody in the car for the first 6 months.
Yes.
First year. Really.
First year?
Well, she can only have her brother in the car after the first 6 months.
Really? You can have, so it's only if it's family?
After the first 6 months, I think it's a sibling. And then at a year is when you can have friends. Rumor has it nobody follows it, but
Interesting.
It's a lengthy period of time that they have to practice. I like Wisconsin's driving laws though, because at 15 they get their permit,
Mm-hmm.
but then they have a whole year where they're practicing,
That's so smart.
and then at 16 they can get their driver's license.
Yeah.
But they've practiced for a full year, where they only practice for 4 months here if they go to driver's ed.
Yeah. That feels weird to me.
Yeah, I actually think Wisconsin's doing it right. Even though you're 4 months younger when you get your license, you've had a lot more practice.
Well, yeah, and the
roads are way wider.
Right. There's so much less risk. Like, if you're 15, just go for it. Just start driving. It's totally fine.
Right.
Yeah. Wild times.
Yep.
Oh, well, I think we have some spring break energy about us today.
We sure do.
I do.
We sure do. Let's do it.
For sure.
So I thought that this conversation would be really interesting because, we talk about the Enneagram a lot, and we just had this little weekend getaway, and you've been talking about your spring break and coming up, and we talk a lot about the different ways that we prep for travel and how we travel. And I think a lot about the ways that I approach a trip, and both the prep, the doing, and the return versus others, and how it varies depending on who I'm traveling with. And my level of involvement or not. And so I thought that it would be really interesting to unpack that a little bit, especially under the guise of Enneagram and what that looks like.
Yeah. No, it's such a good idea. And I think you and I often talk about how we travel differently.
Yeah.
We just so happen to have these two kind of overlapping or very close experiences of each of us going away. And I know that we both love to ask each other, when did you start packing yet?
Yes.
Start packing, and see how long we can get to ask how close to the trip we get before we actually say that we packed.
Exactly.
I'm waiting a long time this time.
Yeah, you really are.
I usually am way more ahead, but I decided it would be better for me to just write it all down. And then I know in the moment it will take me less time. I already know what I'm packing very explicitly and where it's going. And I even wrote in what bag it's going in.
Oh, I do like to have a good list. I do like to do that.
So I may not have packed yet, but I have every item listed and in what bag.
What happens if it goes in the wrong bag?
It's not. It won't. It's going to go in the bag it's supposed to go in.
So here's the thing. Once you get there, does it stay that organized?
Oh, well, here's what I'm doing this time. Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
So on our upcoming trip, we are staying in 2 different locations. So I'm packing by area in packing cubes. So my outfits for the first few days are in one section, and my outfits for the next part of the trip are in another section, so I don't have to open it all up in one place to move it, pack it up and move it.
Smart. What do you do with laundry?
Oh, so glad you asked. I just purchased these 2 labeled bags that say laundry on them, so that between my husband and I will each have one that we can put the dirty clothes into. And so then one of the suitcases when we leave will have the dirty clothes. And then if there's leftover clean stuff or stuff we didn't wear or whatever, it'll go in the other one.
Wow. And you were quite generous, I think, with your family, because you pack for everyone.
Yes. My husband and son call it the packing fairy. Like, they just wake up and their bags are ready to go by the door. And yeah, the packing fairy comes and just packs the stuff. I will say my husband is packing most of his own stuff this time because I'm tired of asking what he wants or whatever, but I will pack my son's stuff because if I didn't, I mean, it would be fine. He would just wear whatever he wants to wear, and I know it would be okay. But all of the preparation I've been doing about what the weather will be and where we're eating that day, so maybe one day's a fancy day, I need to be ready for it.
Yeah. My mother-in-law saved me for our Disney cruise years ago when Hayden almost went without shoes, period.
Oh.
No shoes whatsoever.
She noticed? Or she had to get him shoes?
No. He had a tendency to be barefoot, and I told him to put his shoes on, and he needed to pack a pair of shoes, I think is how it went. And he was in a fairly defiant phase at that point. He was 7 or turning 7. he refused to do both, and I was like distracted trying to get us on the road. We tend to be running late usually on those situations.
Okay.
My mother-in-law, I think, noticed the chaos and was like, let me just get those shoes and I'm just going to tuck them in the bag just to make sure it happens. We're like, getting ready to turn onto Route 2 to Hartford to go out of Bradley. And I noticed Hayden's barefoot because he had started to go into the backyard when he was waiting for us to get in the car. And he had taken his shoes off to run around the backyard. And he did it when we said it's time to get in the car. He never went and put his shoes back on.
Of course.
Which were his Crocs or whatever.
So he's like, I don't need that. Someone else will figure that out for me.
So I was like, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I'm showing up to the airport with a barefoot child who refused to bring the backup shoes. So he's literally has no shoes whatsoever. And my mother-in-law says, never fret, my pet. He's got shoes. He was very sad about it because they weren't Crocs. They were actually shoes, which was his least favorite. Still are. But he did have shoes. She saved the day.
That's amazing. She must have known that this is what he would be like.
She did. She did. She knew I needed a backup that day.
That's perfect.
Mm-hmm. What part of travel brings you the most joy and what part stresses you out the most?
Mm-hmm. I will say this, anyone who's asking me how I'm feeling about this trip coming up is I will be excited when I get there. I'm fine, like, flying and stuff. Like, I'm not like a super anxious flyer. Like, some people can be very overwhelmed by flying. That doesn't bother me, but it's just the process of getting to the airport, through security, all the things. And I feel like, I don't know. I'll let you know how it actually goes, but every time I feel like I see 8,000 stories of how horrible everything will possibly be at the airport for 1,000 reasons, like all the TSA things that have been going on, new ways of doing I mean, it's just like I never know until I'm there if it's like fear-mongering and it's just like everybody making a big deal out of things that aren't a big deal, or if it's like really a problem. So
you do so much more research than me. I never know what's going on.
It just comes from my algorithm. I must click like one video and then I just see all the videos of people either like, this is so bad, or calm down, it's totally fine. Here's what it's really like, And so I would say the stressful part is, kind of getting ready, the anticipation of the travel. Once I get on the plane, I feel like I'm pretty good. But it's like, is there going to be a delay? What's going to happen? Too many what ifs. But the joyful part is like going and doing it. None of that would prevent me from traveling. I'm just going to go and have fun. And I love being in new places. I love getting to see things that I've only seen in pictures. I've never, I just think it's just so cool. Our bubble can be so small sometimes. So if you don't get out there and see other things, like, I didn't move around a lot as a kid or anything. So I didn't see, like, I only saw places when we went on vacation, really, truly. Or when I was like looking at colleges. And even then I didn't go far at all. So yeah, it's my way of getting out of here. What about you?
I hate packing. Probably why I avoid it until the very last minute. And then I feel like it's stressful, we have awesome neighbors and stuff that help out with the dogs and stuff, but it still stresses me out to like make sure the pets are cared for and, like making sure everything's like settled on the home front.
Yes. Think of all the things.
All the things, like all the logistics of making sure things are like settled to be able to leave sometimes can be stressful. So
yeah,
that can be stressful for me. And oftentimes there's tension like the day of trying to get out, probably because we've waited until, and I always schedule, like the optimist in me is like, I can do 17 things
the day of
so I overschedule myself, generally speaking. So then there's usually tension that day as we're like anxiously trying to get out.
Gotcha.
So that's usually probably the most stressful part. My family is so fun to travel with.
Yeah.
The kid, like experiencing new things with my kids is like the most magical experience. I would go anywhere with them because especially my son, like his joy for experiencing new things, it's like frenetic. Like he gets so excited that like it actually can be overwhelming for people because he's like me, right? Like his enthusiasm is like overwhelming. Not to me, like I get energized by it, but like he just, all of us, like it's just fun, and we just can't wait to experience everything and see everything, and we're pretty laid back and like just are flexible, and so I think we're our best selves
when we're traveling
on vacation and stuff. So
you should go on more vacations then.
I kind of feel like we should.
I think so.
I'm manifesting that we're going to be able to do all the vacations forever.
That's amazing.
Because we're going to have all the resources so that we can.
I love that.
Yeah.
Listen, I think we're going to travel as much as we can. I think we should just do that. I think we could take this show on the road.
Well, we're going to try to learn to be, I'm a really bad, what is it, vlogger?
Oh, yeah, vlogging.
I'm really bad at it. I tried over the weekend.
You told me you were going to try and you barely delivered on your videos.
I'm really bad at it. I need to edit.
Well, the editing, you could have just sent the raw footage.
I was sending some raw footage, but
you give me a little bit.
I have more, but
You didn't even send it?
No.
Oh, come on.
Gotta be better.
You could do it. It's okay.
Believe in you. Life skills.
Get some CapCut going and learn how to use that.
I gotta CapCut it.
You got it.
I'll get Hayden to help me.
Do it.
Yeah.
The kids can do the vlogging part of it. You know?
Well,
I don't call it vlogging. It's just reels. Do you just do reels? Is there other reels of vlog?
I don't know.
You just do reels and TikToks. Like I think that's maybe what it is.
Yeah. I don't know how to talk.
I don't know how to tick or talk.
We've got a lot of life goals here.
This is what happens when we're in our 40s.
Yeah.
Lose touch.
Lost touch. Maybe we've never touched. I've never touched.
Well, darn it all.
I think, though, that what we're saying basically is that travel disrupts routine, control, and predictability, which can be a little stress and chaos, right?
Yeah, it changes you out of your like normal environment. So it's going to automatically tick up any of your stress and also like lean into like people who love chaos, right? It's probably a little different.
Right. Right. And that, stress lines and growth patterns show up really quickly.
Yep.
When that disruption happens. Decision-making uncertainty and other people's needs become unavoidable. And then the Enneagram motivations become clearer when comfort is removed.
Oh, yeah.
Very clearly, right?
I feel that so strongly. Yeah.
What do you get most reactive about when you travel? Time, money, plans, people, or uncertainty?
Uncertainty first, for sure. I don't even have to think about it. I don't worry about the money part of it. I mean, I should be more worried about money, but I feel like vacation is one of those times where it doesn't, like, you exist outside of the money part of it, and you've already paid for some stuff. So then when you're there, you just pay whatever. What are you going to do? Like, not eat at this one? No, you're just going to go spend the money. My husband would probably disagree with me because he looks at the money more than I do. So to me, it just feels like, that phenomenon of like everything's free on vacation.
Totally.
Doesn't count.
Yeah.
I don't worry about people much. I mean, I don't tend to travel with like a lot of people I don't feel close with. So I don't ever worry about that. People I'm traveling with, it's usually very easy. No, it's really the uncertainty, I think, and just like the newness of it, especially if it's a brand new place. Like I will say, as much as I say I want to go see all these places, like I've only more recently started to take trips like outside of places I had already been. We're like a big time repeat vacation family, like where we do the same vacations over and over because we love them. And so we just know what to expect. We know those same places. Like it sort of feels like home away from home. We do Cape Cod a lot, and I did that growing up. So like those things, it's like you kind of know what you're getting, and that feels nice. So, and there's not as much uncertainty. So I think that's why I tend to do that. But now I'm leaning into doing like bigger trips and going places I've never been. And so then I'm like, oh my God, what is it going to be like? Like I don't have like a good handle on, I don't know, what's going to happen. So what about you?
I think that, I don't know if I feel reactive about any of those things when I'm on vacation, to be honest with you.
It's amazing. You probably don't.
I really don't.
I don't think you care about any of that.
I really don't. I don't think I do. Maybe when I get back, I get really anxious about the money.
That's
because
probably,
I am the money person in our family. And so then
which is kind of weird, by the way, because you have an accountant husband.
it's very strange, but it is true. But I've always been like that. Like as a kid, I was very like sort of money obsessed. So
All right, we'll just skirt by that.
we could talk about that a different time. But no, my brother once said it. He's never met a 7-year-old that had a better understanding of supply and demand than me.
You just got to make it work for you. Is that?
I just knew how to like assess the situation and be like, they're gonna run out of Easter candy way before me, so I'm gonna save mine and sell it. So
Oh wow,
I was very resourceful and strategic. But all that being said, so I always like to have money, but when I'm on vacation, I'm sort of like YOLO. So I end up going to Alaska and deciding I need every sweatshirt and every souvenir shop. And I come back and I'm like, that was a mistake because that sweatshirt's actually not that soft. And I really like soft things, but I get caught up in the moment.
Well, because I feel like I could be projecting here, but I feel like a piece of it is like, you can't just like go back and get that thing. Like,
correct.
It's like a one-time moment. Like you better decide right away what you want and like get the thing you want.
Well, 100%. And I go into every single vacation being like, well, I'm never coming back here. I got to live it up now because I might not ever get the opportunity to be in Denali again. So I better get the stuff now because it's not the same to order it.
No, that's cheating. Cheating.
Totally cheating. So then I come back and my credit card bill's a little ridiculous. And then I'm like, oh shit, what have I done? What have I done? So I think I don't feel like I'm pre-reactive. I feel like I'm more post-reactive.
All right. That makes sense.
About money.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
So how does this connect to the Enneagram? We've talked a bit about the Enneagram already, and that episode is actually like our highest listened to episode of all the ones we have, the one we did about Enneagram. So we thought, why not do some more? But in terms of travel and tensions that happen in our personalities, there's 3 universal tensions that apply, and then we'll go into detail a little bit about each type. But you have freedom versus structure. Some people are way more comfortable in each one of those arenas. Connection versus independence. And preparation versus spontaneity, which I think we are highlighting perfectly.
Yes.
And so each of our types manages those tensions differently. So we're going to briefly run through some tidbits about each type and how that might apply, so that as you continue to get to know yourself and your number, we'll obviously use our examples for our 7 and 9. But as you're learning about your own Enneagram type, this might help highlight and confirm your type if you've been exploring it based on some of these pieces of information. So, type 1 might be known as the responsible traveler, thriving with an itinerary, punctuality, doing it right. The struggles would be flexible plans, inefficiency, and chaos. And a growth moment for type 1s could be allowing the trip to be good enough. Remember, type 1 is like more of a perfectionistic type. So wanting everything to be right, over preparing, doing all the energy and effort to make it go so well, but then having to build some growth and acceptance around it just being good enough and not setting that bar too high.
Yep. So the type 2, the caretaking traveler, thrives in planning for others and shared experiences, struggles, unmet needs, resentment, and exhaustion. And a growth moment is voicing needs before burnout. So the type 2 is the helper that is constantly wanting to care for others and nurture. So in the moment on vacation, might feel overwhelmed by constantly doing for others and not ever getting their needs met.
Trying to meet everyone else's needs. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
Type 3, the optimized traveler, They thrive on highlights, photo-worthy moments, productivity, struggle with rest, slowing down, and with disappointment. And a growth moment would be enjoying moments without performing them. Because threes are our achievers or our performers. And so definitely thrive in that moment of like, we've got it. We did it. Like oftentimes the highlights, like it says that word, is it's like having that good thing to look back on and being able to get as much done as you want on a trip, right? Like really pushing to fill that time. And then the struggle is slowing down or dealing with disappointment if something doesn't go well. Like part of that is wanting things to go in a good direction. So our threes, sometimes we say, are like really good travel buddies because they will plan. They'll have the energy to and will plan like every part of the trip.
I love traveling with a 3 because generally I get asked, do you want to go on this trip? And I say yes. And then next thing I know, the hotel's booked, the event is booked, the travel is booked, and I never have to worry about anything else. Wherever it is and whatever we're doing is very well cared for and taken care of, and I don't have to worry about it.
I think that's perfect.
Yeah. 4s, the meaning-seeking traveler. They thrive in beauty, culture, depth, emotion, struggle with comparison and unmet expectations. Growth moment is letting ordinary moments still count. So our 4s are artists, are the emotional depth. So again, I think it could be very challenging if you're not getting that emotional connection and experience, or that the people around you aren't experiencing the depth of emotion in the way that you want them to experience it, especially if you're the leader of the trip and you're having this emotional experience in the trip and others aren't
like connecting
that same connection to it. I think you could have significant disappointment in that they're not experiencing in that same way. So that's where that unmet expectations could come into play.
Beautiful. So our type 5s are the independent traveler. They thrive in autonomy, research, and space, struggle with group travel and constant interaction. And a growth moment is allowing connection without depletion. So 5s are fabulous researchers. They're investigators. They love to do the research end of things, but struggle a little more, I think, in execution just in general. That can be a piece of a 5. So with travel, you can imagine, like doing all the research side of it and planning and getting things going. But then in the moment, I think things can feel overwhelming to 5s, right? A lot of, they definitely need more autonomy, more alone time than other types. So when you think of how to have a successful trip as a 5, you got to build in enough downtime. And that's something we suspect. My son is a 5. He definitely identifies himself that way when we talk to him, but he needs downtime. And we know that he needs rest. He's not going to go 24/7. And we have to make room for that for it to be successful.
And a 6, the prepared traveler. The thrive in contingency plans, safety, and logistics, struggle with uncertainty and what-if spirals. Growth moment is trusting the trip and self to unfold. So if you travel with a 6, you're going to know that it is going to be a very well planned and executed trip. They're going to be prepared for all types of pitfalls. But for a 6, a unexpected disruption that's unprepared for could create a complete spiral. So really learning to recognize that and either having a partner that is grounding and good with pivoting and helping you execute a different alternative, or with that, like you said, growth moment of just trusting the process.
Right. Being able to be present in the moment, right? Rather than anticipating the next problem down the line every step of the way. Type 7, that's you. You'll have to let me know if this is right. So the experience collector. 7s thrive with spontaneity, options, and novelty. Struggles would be limits, boredom, and planning details. And a growth moment would be staying present instead of chasing what's next. What do you think about that as a 7?
I think that's true. I definitely don't. I plan broad strokes, not details. That is very true. I think I'm better now at staying present and not
I
chasing.
know, you're pretty good at that, I feel like. I was going to say the same thing. Yeah. But that's growth. That's because you've grown.
I'm so
Maybe at
so
one
grown.
time it was different.
Maybe at one time, yeah. So the type 8, the take charge traveler, thrives in leadership, decisiveness, and confidence, struggles with vulnerability and dependence, and a growth moment is letting someone else take lead. So your 8s are your in charge people, right? And yeah, I think when you're in a big group for an 8, you can't have sometimes 2 alphas. So it's sometimes when you're in a big group, you got to learn to step back and let someone else lead. So that's probably the biggest challenge for an 8.
Yeah, definitely the most comfortable making the decision. So if you're with a lot of people who don't like making decisions, that's great because just make the decision and that's totally fine. But like you said, if there's several people who have different opinions about what they want to be doing, it might get tricky.
Might get very tricky.
Right. And the type 9, go with the flow traveler. Let's see. This is supposed to be me. Thrives with harmony, ease, and shared experiences. Struggles with indecision, suppressed preferences, and anxiety under stress. And the growth moment is naming desires and tolerating discomfort. That feels true, right? I think so. I do. I think anxiety under stress, absolutely. The growth moment, I do think I work on that. Like I have a little bit more of a capacity to express what I want or what I don't want on a trip than I probably used to, but I still sometimes struggle with the way it feels, like just like we were describing with the 8, like the tension of multiple people wanting to do different things or how to navigate that. Oh my gosh, would totally stress me out. So that might be a little bit why I do lean into planning because I just want it to be, this is the deal.
Well, you're more comfortable in that sense of just taking charge and leading, right?
Yeah, I am. And I think I don't have a problem doing that. I think I do like vacillate between planning and then not planning. Like there's certain things, like I've said, I've absolutely planned all the details of how I'm packing for this trip. But then when it comes to like what we're doing when we're there, I have like the days and I know like a rough outline of what we're doing, but I definitely did not want to completely box us in to like, oh, we're eating at this restaurant on this day at this time. Like that feels way too much.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Sweet. Well, we thought that we'd share a little example of what a 7 trip might look like.
I'm really excited for this. I love hearing about your trips. I think they're the funniest things to me in the world because I love your free-flowing nature. Why don't you share? So you just did a trip. Tell us about it.
So we decided to celebrate our beautiful 16-year-old's birthday in New York City, doing her favorite things. And again, I loosely celebrated them. So we never pack until the very, very last minute. So
is that everyone? How do you guys pack? Like, does everyone just do their own stuff? I mean, since Hayden was doing his packing at 7, then I'm guessing he can do some of his own shoe packing now.
He does. I usually have to double check his a little bit, but yeah, he definitely, everybody packs their own stuff. Yes. So the plan of events was that my daughter, husband, and I booked her DMV appointment in October, and they let me book for April 3rd.
In October? That's such a planful experience you had. How did you think to do that?
You know, she was having a teenage moment, and I was like, I can make this better. I'm going to book her permit. And
what a future optimistic side of you that exists. You're like, let's think of this future thing in 6 months that you're going to love. Perfect. Let's do it.
Let's do it. I was like, look, you're going to get your license permit in 6 months. This is going to be so great. So they let me book it for April 3rd. I had the confirmation email from the DMV. I was feeling like the best mom ever. So She comes home Thursday and she's like, I don't think I can get my permit that day. And I was like, what are you talking about? Look at this email. It says you absolutely can. The DMV confirmed with me in October
that you could do
it. So she's like, okay, I believe you. I was like, sweet. So we get our Starbucks, drive to the DMV in Old Saybrook, 9 a.m. to see a giant close sign because it was Good Friday.
Darn it all.
Yep.
So rude.
So rude. It was fine. I just took it as a sign that we weren't supposed to take it that day and we just needed a lovely little drive.
I think it's a beautiful sign.
So we drove back home and my brother and sister-in-law and her cousins came over and we ate Flanders and sang happy birthday and, partied a little bit at the house. Then we packed. The goal was to leave the house by 1. Packing took a little bit longer than anticipated. So we pick up 2 of our friends. We're in the car. And I didn't think at all to anticipate traffic
on Friday, Easter weekend.
On Friday of Easter weekend. Because
who cares?
Why would I?
Why would you?
So we turn on Waze and Waze says it's going to take 3 hours and it's red. And I was like, ruh-roh, this feels problematic. My husband and I were like, well, we're not going to make it to the hotel to check in, to change into our fancy clothes, and then also make it to the restaurant. There's no way all those things can happen at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, not a big deal.
Pivot.
Totally fine. Let's pivot. I say to the girls and Hayden, I was like, okay, plot twist. We're going to stop at the next rest stop and you're going to change into your fancy clothes in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to have to do your makeup, whatever, in the car. And then we're going to drive into the city and Dad's going to drive instead of me because that's just going to go better. Mm-hmm. Turns out my brakes also need to get redone. So it was a little start, stop a little bit. It was a little rougher than I'd hoped for.
Sometimes it happens.
Sometimes. I was really glad I had a book so I could escape, read from the terror. But we made it. Everybody changed.
Yeah.
But we made it to the city. We found a parking garage. It was literally right next to the restaurant. It only cost $40 to park rather than the $60 that some of them cost, which felt like a bargain. So then we peeled off and the boys went to Brooklyn for the evening and had their milkshakes. And we went and saw Aunt Juliet, which was, thank you for the recommendation.
My favorite.
10 out of 10. Chef's kiss.
So good. So good.
So good. And then the next day, we wanted to just do the book tour and go to as many bookstores as we could because Addie is a huge reader. But I didn't have any actual plans of how to navigate the city. I just sort of knew we were going to be taking the subway. And we're sort of figuring out the subway system, but not quite right. So we decide to hop off the subway at one point, and we clearly look a little bit like tourists. And this one woman is like, where do you need to go? You look like you are clueless. And I was like, you know what? We are. So we had a lovely conversation with this woman. Turns out her husband grew up in Stevens Point, Wisconsin, which is like right next to where we grew up. Not we, but Brian and then I lived there for a while. So that was cool. Love meeting new people.
Who would have ever
And she said, what's your agenda? So I told her and she's like, you don't want to go there. You should go to this coffee shop. Best coffee in the city.
Ooh, it's hard to know because they all say best coffee.
I know. She said, she gave us a bunch of them, but she told us the very best, her favorite. And she's like, you really want to go to Soho? And here's another bookstore to add to your list.
That's amazing.
Love making new friends, as you know. We just kept navigating and finding our way. Like we would get off one place thinking we were wrong and we're like, oh no, turns out I was right. And so then we would go that way. And and then at one point we found a second Barnes and Nobles and we decided to go there because Addie didn't find the right book and that had the book she wanted.
Okay.
And it just
That
felt
worked
like
out.
every single thing that we did was serendipitous and exactly where we were supposed to be, what we were supposed to do. But like, what was the coolest thing for me was that everybody, we just, wherever we went, whatever we did, we met wonderful people that just helped us along the way. And we just had fun. The kids, like, I can't tell you how many times Hayden said how much fun he had and how grateful he was for the experience. And I guess I just loved like the spontaneity of the whole thing, and that we just kept finding our way, and we ended up where it felt like we were supposed to be at every given moment. And no matter what could have felt catastrophic and overwhelming because it felt like the traffic situation, or, not really knowing how to navigate the subway system for a minute, like feeling like we weren't there, but like getting to meet new people, like it just felt like an opportunity and part of the excitement and the experience rather than overwhelming. So
sounds amazing. It's such a 7 thing.
Yeah.
And you're living into it. Did anything about it stress you out or not at all?
No. But that also felt different. Like, I do think that the traffic situation going in the past, I think, would have resulted in like fighting and been stressful, but it wasn't this time. So that felt different.
Yeah. And I think a piece of it is like you pivoted so quickly and created a new plan. So I feel like that helps, like had you not been able to figure that out, or it was like, oh, now we can't do dinner and we have to cancel that, like you didn't have to really change too much. You just had to adjust a little bit, and then everything worked out.
And everybody was responsive and was like, yeah, like nobody had a negative reaction, and we all just sort of went with it. But like,
yeah,
I think in the past we might not have been our best selves and responded in that way, but everybody was fine with the new plan and
that's amazing
along the way. So
yeah. So with all that, what makes a trip feel alive to you? Like, what is the thing about it that feels like the most exciting or just invigorating?
I think the new experience, and I think the energy of the experiencing new things with the kids. I think getting to experience the world through their eyes is the most exciting thing. And even though like our summer the vacation we're doing this summer, we're going to places that I've never been before, but I still think it'll be still more exciting to experience it through their eyes in their youth than it will even be to experiencing it through mine.
I love this story. I think this was such a good inspiration for the conversation today because I knew you were telling me, you're like, I got to tell you how this trip went. There were some moments that we had to figure stuff out, and I've been waiting to hear. So that is quite a story.
But I was also clear that this would have stressed so many people in my life out. And even in my family, like they would never have wanted to do this trip with us, like ever. The tightness of the schedule too would not have worked.
I would have been stressed. I already know. I would have been stressed. Traffic really stresses me out. I also am not good. I say I'm a good traveler, but when I'm not good is in the car. I'm horrible in the car. You know this about me. So I need like extra travel time in the car so I don't have anxiety.
Hindsight 2020, I probably should have looked a little bit. Like I probably should have anticipated traffic and like,
but it didn't matter. So now you're like, I don't actually have to do that.
I have a little bit too much faith in my ability to do that, I think. So what are you most looking forward to with your trip, and like what's kind of stressing you out? Or
I am excited. So we're going to Paris, and I've never been to Paris. I actually only even left the country a couple of times, but overseas once, which was this last summer. So new things going on. And I'm excited because my kid's turning 13 while we're away. So this is sort of like a monumental birthday trip for us because we don't normally travel this far for April break. But so I'm really excited to just like a lot of what you're saying resonates in terms of like having new experiences together and just getting to have that. And my son didn't travel with us over the summer when we went to Scotland. So I know he's really excited to just get to go on this journey and be in Europe and like just be in a new place. So we're excited for that. But like, with the Enneagram, we often, right, we move to another number that's connected to us when we're in stress. And so when you described what the type 6 traveler is like, I go to 6 in stress. So that actually resonated a lot with me. That stuff you talked about with like needing a contingency plan or having what if spirals. What if this happens? And I don't know about you, but it's also not feeling like the best time in the world to be traveling.
Yeah.
I just think there's a lot happening and this war going on. I don't know. I'm just like, so I feel like my anxiety is keyed up more around that stuff than it would normally be because it just feels out of control to me. And I feel like at the very least, while it's scary enough being here, knowing what's happening, you know, I just think then traveling and also then being in like a foreign country. And I know I'm probably projecting a lot of that or like overthinking some of it, but it just feels like another layer of unknown that is just like, why is this even a situation right now?
Yeah.
So that piece is stressful. And so I just keep going back to like what I said earlier, which is I know when I get there, I think I'll be fine and I'll feel a lot better. But it's like all the anticipation, planning, wondering what it will be like. And then once I'm in it, I think I'll know how to adapt and like figure out what we're doing each day and all of that good stuff. And yeah, so I feel like I have to be really cognizant of like being planful in like a strategic way, not letting anxiety drive everything that I'm doing and not letting like the worries I have about what could go wrong. Like I sometimes find myself like, you know, I don't know about you, but like leading up to a trip, I still have, like you said, you pack a lot in. Like I have so much going on this week and I'm just going to be like working late every day. And, you know, I don't have a lot of time to do much in preparation other than what I've already done. And then I'll pack like kind of last minute, but my list is ready. But I think I also will do this like quick verbal rehearsal with my husband at like the end of each day where I'll be like, okay, so just remember, like when you're in France, like do that, you know, I don't know, I like start rapid fire telling him these things I've watched like random videos on and he's like, it's okay. Like you think we'll handle it and I don't have to worry about that. But I just feel like, oh, I have to tell you this one more thing I've thought about, you know? And so, but yeah, so I feel like I definitely landed more in the preparation space, but it is definitely more of like an anxious thing.
Was there anything about what I shared in my trip that made you go, gross?
The traffic part of it, I was like, oh my God, I will sometimes look at the day I'm traveling like it's a Friday, the week before and pull up the map, pretending if I was driving that day to see what it would look like.
Okay.
That's what I do when I'm driving somewhere. I do that. So I've already done that with driving to the airport for this Saturday. I like to, and you're going, ew. I'm getting judgy eyes over here.
Like, wow. I should.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know that it does a lot for me. And it's not like that means week to week it's actually going to make it be the same. Like, but like, we're going to go to Disneyland Paris for part of the time we're there. And I have been pulling up the app that tells you how long the wait times are for the rides. So I don't know. It's my way of giving myself peace of mind. It's like, if I just know what to expect, I'm good. So it's more like, it's not like I have to avoid it or I can't handle it or how am I going to work around it. I just like to know. And then when I know, I'm just like, this is totally normal. And then I don't worry about it in the moment.
I think for me, it's maybe the avoidance 7 in me where I just don't even want to think about it. So I just avoid because I just assumed and guessed how long it would. I never looked.
My God.
I was like, Brooklyn takes roughly 2 hours to get to. So if I leave around 1, I'll get there approximately at 3. Like,
yes, that is true.
I'm pretty sure that's what I did. I don't.
So is it like avoidance of the things you don't like the thought of traffic? It's like, ew, who likes traffic? So I just won't think about traffic?
No, it's optimism.
Just like I won't hit any traffic.
I didn't think about traffic.
Just traffic doesn't exist. Okay, perfect.
I don't think I even factor traffic into the equation.
Yeah, because it just won't happen.
Why? I just was like, Yeah, I just didn't think about it. It was just like, I think it was just like complete optimism of like, it's just going to work out great. Like in my mind, it's going to take 2 hours to get there. So if we leave at 1, we'll get there at 3. Check-in's not till 4, but I'm going to charm my way into letting them check in an hour early.
Yeah.
Totes fine. And then we'll be on our way into the city, easily get there by 5:15 at the latest.
Yes.
To be perfect for a 5:30 reservation.
And then if it doesn't work, you pivot. So that's the thing. Like, you trust yourself to figure it out. I don't know that I trust myself to that level to be able to change the plan up. And not only that, but I care so much about what other people think that I feel like I've like let people down if I screw it up because I'm not planful enough that I'm like, oh, 3 months ahead, I better make sure I'm booking the like I'm like, oh yeah, I can figure that out. Like, that sounds fun. And then sometimes I miss the chance. So
I do appreciate though, like when you go to things ahead of me, that you can give me tips like that.
Yeah.
So our travel takeaways for everyone. Everyone has environments where they feel more like themselves. Some people thrive in structure, some thrive in freedom. I personally thrive in freedom. Some thrive in connection, some thrive in solitude. Travel removes our familiar supports, so it reveals the conditions where we feel safest, most energized, and most regulated. Noticing what helps you thrive isn't self-centered, it's self-aware.
Beautiful. Stress on trips often shows us what matters most. What irritates or worries you while traveling usually points to a real need. Feeling rushed often means you value presence. Feeling anxious often means you value safety or predictability. And feeling constrained often means you value freedom or choice. Instead of judging the reaction, ask, what is this protecting?
Thriving doesn't mean getting everything your way. A good trip isn't where everyone has identical needs. It's one where people understand and make space for differences. When people feel seen and accounted for, flexibility becomes easier.
You're allowed to need different things in different seasons. How you travel at one stage of life might not work in another. Needing more rest, planning, or simplicity isn't a failure, it's attunement. Growth often looks like learning what helps you stay grounded and choosing it on purpose.
Stress responses don't mean someone is bad at travel. They mean someone is outside their comfort zone. Something important feels uncertain. The nervous system is scanning for safety. Curiosity lowers tension faster than criticism.
Curiosity. That's a good one.
So what we've learned is that we all thrive in different conditions. Travel just makes those differences louder. Awareness doesn't remove stress, but it makes it easier to hold. Compassion for yourself and others is often the best travel plan you can make.
Isn't it? I love that.
Yes, I do too.
Hold that in mind.
I hope that everybody has had a peaceful and safe spring break.
Yes.
I look forward to hearing about your trip.
I'm so excited to share with you. I can't wait to go on this trip and get back, and we'll talk about it.
I love that.
Have a wonderful 2 weeks.
A great 2 weeks.
Bye.